Hey, kids, what time is it?
Beetlejuice.
It's showtime. Hey everybody, Keith here from GeekTime TV, and autumn is rapidly approaching, much to my chagrin. I'm kind of not ready because the summer wasn't great this year here on the East Coast. Had a lot of rain. I just kind of feel like we were robbed of not the whole summer, but a portion of it anyway. So I'm really not ready for fall. In fact, football started this weekend and I haven't watched a single snap. I'm just not ready at all. I went to a baseball game instead and it got rained out. Go figure. But with autumn comes my favorite holiday, which is Halloween, followed by my second favorite holiday, Thanksgiving. But at Halloween time, I like to put on scary movies, even some horror comedies now and then. And one of my favorites is Beetlejuice. And we got some news here on Beetlejuice 2 from Tim Burton. It says Beetlejuice 2 has less than 2 days of filming left to shoot once the Film Actors Guild strike ends. It's 99% done, Burton says. So let's get into this little article posted today, September 11th, and let's not ever forget that day. For those of you who are alive to remember it, like everyone else can tell you exactly where I was and what was going on. It's just burned into my brain. I'll never, ever forget the feeling of that day. It was just something otherworldly to experience. If you're younger, you don't remember it, read up on it, watch some stuff on it, and it was definitely one of the most horrible days of my lifetime, if not the most horrible day of my lifetime. Because I still have my parents, so I'm sure that'll end up topping 9/11, but nonetheless. Anyway, back to the article. Variety, September 11th by Zach Scharf. It says, Tim Burton and Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice 2 only had a day and a half left of filming when the Film Actors Guild strike shut production down indefinitely. The Warner Brothers backed production started filming in May in London amid the Writers Guild strike. Quote, "I feel grateful we got what we got," Burton told The Independent in a recent interview. "Literally, it was a day and a half. We know what we have to do. It's 99% done." He says, "On this last one, Beetlejuice 2, I really enjoyed it." The director also said about how rare it is to work on a big Hollywood tentpole and actually like it. "I tried to strip everything and go back to the basics of working with good people and actors and puppets. It was kind of like back to why I liked making movies." And I have a follow-up article that we'll get to in a second about some of this. Let's finish this up first. Beetlejuice 2 is the sequel to Burton and Keaton's beloved, that's 1988, not 1998, 1988 cult classic. Keaton is back in the title role opposite returning cast members Winona Ryder and Catherine O'Hara. New faces to the franchise include Burton's Wednesday star Jenna Ortega, Willem Dafoe, Monica Bellucci, and Justin Theroux. Keaton previously told Empire magazine that Burton was prioritizing practical effects on the Beetlejuice 2 set. Big fan of practical effects. Beetlejuice is the most effing fun you can have working, Keaton said. "It's so fun. It's so great. And you know what it is? We're doing it exactly like we did the first movie. There's a woman in the great waiting room for the afterlife, literally with a fishing line. I want people to know this because I love it. Tugging on the tail of a cat to make it move." Keaton continues, "It has to be done as close to the way we made it in the first time, making stuff up, making stuff happen, improvising and riffing, but literally handmade stuff like people creating things with their hands and building something. Effing great. It's the most fun I've had working on a movie, and I can't tell you how long." And that's funny to hear from Michael Keaton because Michael Keaton looks like he has fun in every movie he makes, even in serious drama. He just looks like he's having a great time, which has always kind of been the appeal for me anyway, for Michael Keaton. I'll watch anything the guy's in because it looks like he's really into what he's doing. He takes his work seriously, but yet it looks like he's also he's well aware of that he's privileged and he gets to have fun and earn a paycheck for it. So Michael Keaton's always been like a favorite of mine, and I'm hoping that Beetlejuice 2 is as good as Beetlejuice 1. But let's just finish up here. For Burton, Beetlejuice 2 marks his first feature directorial effort since 2019's Dumbo. Oopsies! He swore off working for Disney after the experience of making a tentpole there. He says, the thing about Dumbo is that's why I think my days with Disney are done, he said last year at the Lumiere Festival in Lyon. I realized that I was Dumbo, that I was working in this horrible big circus and I needed to escape. That movie is quite autobiographical at a certain level. And Warner Brothers is set to release Beetlejuice 2 in theaters about a year from now, September 6th, 2014. That might be contingent on whether or not they can get this last day and a half shot, or maybe they don't need to. And they can craft, 90-minute comedy. Please be 90 minutes too. Enough with the 2-hour plus stuff out of it. But you know what? It's Michael Keaton. It's Tim Burton, and they're doing everything practically. Hopefully, his return to yesteryear. It's fun and entertaining. But let's continue on that thought that Tim Burton was talking about with the practical effects and whatnot. He blasts AI recreations of his style as very disturbing. He says it's like a robot taking your humanity, taking your soul. Also published today, September the 11th, by Zach Sharf, same author. So it says here, over the summer, BuzzFeed posted an article of photos that were generated by asking an AI platform to recreate beloved Disney characters in the style of Tim Burton. The results depicted Elsa from Frozen and Princess Aurora from Sleeping Beauty as if they were the stars of Burton's stop-motion Corpse Bride. The article went viral, but not to the amusement of Burton himself. In a recent interview with The Independent, Burton reacted in horror to the AI recreations of his trademark style. He says, quote, they had AI do versions of Disney characters. My versions of Disney characters, Burton said. I can't describe the feeling it gives you. It reminded me of when other cultures say, don't take my picture because it's taking away your soul. He continues, what it does is it sucks something from you, he continued. It takes something from your soul or psyche. It's very disturbing, especially if it has to do with you. It's like a robot taking your humanity, your soul. He's hammered the soul part a couple of times. We get it. Combining AI with beloved auteurs has become a popular trend on social media. AI-created videos imagining what Star Wars or Lord of the Rings might look like if Wes Anderson directed them have also gone viral in recent months. I'm hooked on these Arnold Schwarzenegger in 80s movies, like 80s comedies like Footloose and stuff, and kind of funny. Anyway, Anderson was asked about these clips during his summer press tour for Asteroid City, and he mostly ignores AI recreations. Anderson says, quote, if somebody sends me something, then I'll immediately erase it and say, please, sorry, do not send me things of people doing me, Anderson said in an interview with the Times of London. Because I do not want to look at it thinking, is that what I do? Is that what I mean? I don't want to see too much of someone else thinking about what I try to be because God knows I could then start doing it. Kind of like the everybody does the William Shatner thing. And Shatner claims to this day, he's like, I don't do that. But yeah, you kind of do, Bill. I mean, when people do it back to him or impersonate him, they over-exaggerate. But he still has that way about him. So I get what they're saying here about the AI. Burton is currently making the press rounds in support of new art exhibition of his work that is launching at the Museo Nacional del Cinema in Turin next month. I hope I said that right. Production on his latest feature film, the long-awaited Beetlejuice 2, is paused amid the WGA and Film Actors Guild strikes. So, yeah. There's also an article here on Variety I'll link to in the description, kind of talking about how AI is a good thing and how it's going to augment our productivity. And I'm kind of opposed to it. I hate automation. I've always hated automation. When you get a professional camera, a production camera, it's all manual, no auto settings. You want to be in control of everything, top to bottom. You don't want something making decisions for you. You want to be a creative artist. And that goes for just about anything. I hate automation. That said, I've talked to some people who like to use AI to collect assets. If they're putting together, a presentation, you can have it go and grab all the images you want and whatnot. But again, when I make the thumbnails for these videos, for me, it's the treasure hunt. I like going out and finding these images myself and cutting them out and whatnot. Now, where I will swing a chair for it is that it has definitely sped up processes, such as like rotoscoping. And for those of you who don't know, rotoscoping is when you have to cut out an image one frame at a time from moving video or film. In film or some video, it's 24 frames a second. In others, it's 29, 30, 29, 97, 30 frames. So that can get tedious really quick. And, 15 years ago, having to rotoscope, say someone was wearing a T-shirt and you had to smudge it out and you'd had to cut, put that blur on the one frame at a time, it was really tedious. I've had to do that recently for a client, and it was as simple as I drew a mask around it in one frame, and you hit a button and it looks at every subsequent frame and it moves it. I only had to make a few adjustments here and there, but it did the whole thing really quickly. And that's kind of cool. I don't want it to start taking away human jobs. And that's, that goes for any industry. Once you take machines and you start getting rid of people, that's where we get into a dangerous territory. But before I go, I just want to kind of show you what I'm talking about as far as like this like rotoscoping thing. So here's an image of Tim Burton I'm going to use in the thumbnail for this video. So they have this quick object selection tool now in Adobe Photoshop. So if I just hover over him, right, and you see it turns blue, if I click it, it quickly just cuts him out. So I can grab him, I can just hit copy, right? And now if I just say new, open a new document, right? And I can just paste him in. There he is. Like it was that quick and easy. So now that, again, not too long ago, I would have had to click, draw point at a time, pixel at a time, all the way around and cut him out. So those are the kind of tools that can just accelerate creativity. But I don't want it to take away human jobs. I don't want it to start creating, and it will. You can ask it to create thumbnails by itself. I'm not Photoshop, but online using these AI platforms. Not a fan of that. So anyway, Beetlejuice 2, looking forward to it. Do you think they'll get it done? Do you think they'll shoot that day and a half, or you think they're just going to have to deal with what they have? Who knows? And what do you think of Tim Burton and his comments on AI? Please smash the like button if so inclined. Leave a comment below. We do love engaging in conversation as much as humanly possible. And thank you all for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do hit the subscription button. We promise no spam. No spam. All you got to do is go click, 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 click. That's all you got to do. One click. That's it for me. You guys have a great day. See you on the next video.
Thanks for watching GeekTime TV. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure to check the little bell icon anytime someone from our network drops new content here. Want some GeekTime swag? Check out the merchandise available in the GeekTime TV store, linked in the channel description below. Share GeekTime TV with friends, and as always, thank you for your support. We'll see you soon.